but Motolani had 99. Her room feels too small, definitely too dark, just the way she likes it. A few rays from the dusky sun outside steal through the window, playing across the shadowy corners of the small room, the sparse furniture, and her naked body. She sits on the edge of the mattress, elbows on her knees, staring at the cracked floor. The ceiling fan turns slowly, clicking with every rotation, as though counting something she cannot hear. She closes her eyes. There is movement beneath her skin. Not pain, not exactly, just a sense of being crowded. Outside, voices drift through the thin walls, neighbors talking, low and urgent. Words slip through the gaps in the conversation. Bush path, family, blood, and also the lie. Motolani listens without reacting. The words do not reach her properly. They sound distant, as though spoken underwater. She knows they are talking about what happened near the school road. She waits for fear to come, for guilt, for something sharp, anything. Nothing comes. Instead, there is only numbness, stretched thin and fragile like ice about to crack. She lies back on the mattress and stares at the ceiling, completely thoughtless. Then fatigue wells up, and with it, panic. She does not want to sleep. It is always that moment between wakefulness and unconsciousness that they commune with her the strongest. Touch her and clamor to be the one to own her dream. That moment is always as horrible as the other one. Maybe not as horrible, but terrible nonetheless. Motolani stands up slowly from the bed, blinking away the fatigue. She looks down at her clothes by the side of the mattress. Blood streaks are on them. She recalls how she tore them off when she arrived home earlier, and tries to remember what she has done this time. As usual, it was hazy, like trying to recollect a nightmare. The fatigue is not helping either. She remembers standing alone in the shadows, leaning on a tree of the bush path, breathing like she had run a long-distance race. The setting sun was thick and bruised purple. Her hands trembled. They were wet, sticky at the fingers. She wiped them on her skirt without looking down. She already knew what she would see. The ground around her was torn apart. Bushes flattened. Sand darkened into something heavier. Shapes lay where voices had been minutes earlier. She did not count them, the mauled bodies. Counting on any serious thoughts could make the whispering start again. She did not remember doing this terrible thing to them, but she knew she had. Her chest felt hollow, like something had eaten its way out and left her breathing through a wound. Her ears rang with a distant sound, low and layered, not words exactly, more like agreements. Her mind rushed away from the scene to a few minutes before. Their angry faces and violent shouts, mostly in Hausa and a few Igbo English.
Why you go beat am? You no like book, no be by purse. Go for.
Musa was one of her students in school, the primary school that was her place of primary assignment as a serving youth corps member. A bad, behaved, belligerent, and almost unteachable student who deserved the 6 lashes she had given him. He did not help that it made her so annoyed the voices started screaming in her head. His angry and screaming brothers who ambushed her on the way back home, wielding sticks, annoyed her too. Even worse, they scared her badly. It is always a bad idea to scare mortal. The fatigue wells up stronger now. Motolani drops to the floor in exhaustion. The 99 come running, pressing against the walls of what was left of her consciousness, pulling and shrieking, speaking and showing her things that tore her mind apart, and she blacked out. She wakes up to a new day and decides to go home, Ibadan. She goes through the rituals of preparing and getting ready in her usual norm state. Her Okada ride from the village to the bus park in Kaduna was uneventful. The beautiful scenery and discomfort of wind and dust whiplashing her as they sped on was all lost on her. She almost expects to be stopped and questioned by the people she passed by. Has Musa not spoken to anyone yet? Raised their suspicions towards her? Not that she really cared. She boards the bus. It smells of dust, sweat, and old fabric baked too long in the sun. She sits by the window, bag on her lap, eyes unfocused as Kaduna slips past her. The road stretches endlessly ahead, flanked by forest that looks darker than it should even in daylight. Trees crowd close, their branches tangled and heavy. She blends easily into the tired faces around her. Traders, students, men returning home with nothing to show for their absence. The bus hums and rattles, carrying them south, away from the quiet that feels like accusation. No one looks at her twice, except the other copper in the bus, sitting in the passenger seat by the driver. He keeps throwing her stolen glances through the rearview mirror, and she keeps avoiding them. Her thoughts drift, fragments surface, then sink. The bush path, the silence, her hands. She presses her palms together again, harder this time till sensation dulls. The sun sinks, shadows lengthen, the forest thickens. Then the bus jerks violently. Gunshots crack through the air, sharp and sudden, shattering the fragile rhythm of the journey. Screams erupt. The bus swerves and screeches to a halt. Dust floods in through open windows as fierce-looking men pour onto the road, weapons raised, voices loud and feral. Motolani's heart slams against her ribs, but more from fear of what could happen than what was actually happening. She is dragged from her seat with the others, pulled down into the waiting dark of the forest. Branches scratch at her skin. The ground is uneven, familiar in the worst way. Hands shove her forward.
Cheater!
For some reason, Motolani and the male copper are separated from the others by 3 of the bandits. Their phones are taken away and they start to beat them up. A blow lands across her back. Someone laughs close to her ear. Fear tightens, fast and violent, and the 99 rush to the surface. Not again. Pressure wells blooming behind her eyes, flooding her chest. The whispers rise, not words, not quite, just a sense of agreement, of readiness. Her thoughts scatter, her mind breaking apart under the weight of it, and she remembers this feeling, so she does not fight it. Oblivion claims her. When the 99 were done, when Motolani regains herself, only one man remains, the other copper. He had been hiding behind a tree, shaking uncontrollably, eyes wide and glassy, and had seen everything. She knows it without looking for confirmation. She turns her head slightly in his direction, then away. He is not important. She walks back to the bus and sits down, weak and on the verge of being swallowed again by fatigue. By the time the police arrive, they find bodies scattered through the forest, but the bandits only. All the other passengers, except for the copper, had run away. The male youth copper babbles hysterically, pointing into the forest, repeating the same sentence over and over, but it was gibberish. His mind was broken by what he witnessed. The police take the young man to the hospital and Motolani is allowed to join another bus home. After, their questioning yielded nothing. She truly is unable to recall what had happened. Soon, she is miles away in Ibadan, moving quietly among strangers, her face blank, her steps steady. Inside her, the 99 waits. girl wey sabi yarn story.